Simpson. And Japan have gone absolutely without lead. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball shot.
Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to BCN Sports Ball Chat Weekly. I am Benton, he's Junior. Well, go on, General. How you stay? Boy, you sweat. It must be a hot day over your side of town.
Yeah, it's one of those days. One of those days when the AC don't kick on. But yo, what do you set your AC to? Because I follow the poor people standard, you know.
So I think AC set. Me don't really deal with them thing there who set, but I think wifey set it at 72 in the summer, and then the heat gets set to 68 in the fall.
Are you freaking serious? You set the AC to 72?
I already recommend 75. I already recommendation 75 or 72.
78, brother.
Oh, 78.
Sure.
Well, whatever the recommendation is, that's how we set it at.
78. But I do the same thing. So I set mine to 78.
Yeah.
And then the house is the thermostat is saying it's 72.
Yeah.
But inside don't feel like 72.
Yeah, them thing there. A 78 recommendation for summer.
Yep.
What I do hot in the region?
Yeah, but then...
Well, it's not hot yet, but in Georgia, sometimes you all hit 90.
Outer door would always be above 78 though, right?
Yeah, but like the AC brother said to me, so then, it no matter if you want to compare it to what I do, go on what I do, no? 78 hot, man. Go on in 90 degree weather. So yeah, whatever is the recommendation, it's 78, 68. I guess we have that flip around a bit, but we just set here the recommended conditions. And
yeah, 78, 68. Yeah. For the heater, 68 for the heater. And for all those that are watching, that's the poor people standard.
No, poor people standard. And the regular standard,
That is poor people
standard is energy efficiency standard. We are telling me, say, wealthy people set it, what, 70?
Wealthy people set it to Arctic.
Why? Because they want to waste money?
Yeah. First of all, wealthy people apparently don't speak in degrees.
Okay, they speak in what, Celsius or dollars?
It's comfortable. They speak in comfort.
Not the two where we know we are near McDonald's every day. Because I don't know if you can have so much McDonald's and comfortable.
Why? Well,
and I ride around for a golf cart.
The definition of comfort is relative though, so.
This is true, my brother. How many McDonald's you can eat?
You know, to be honest, I'm big up BM. To be honest, I can't tell what, I'm lying. Every so often I eat McDonald's, but it's not a common practice for me.
Yeah, man.
Every so often, as in, I would say once every 3 months, 2 months.
No, you don't know, say I burn certain things. I burn burgers and them things. But I'm a chicken and fish man, swim around man. And so whenever we do road trips, which we try to do frequently with the youth them, well, I'm a big man now, we normally circle around at Chick-fil-A. And we not give no free promo to Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. In fact, them want a contract. I want an endorsement. Well, me not know if me endorse work with McDonald's, but we work with Chick-fil-A.
Listen, we'll work with any of them, but we're not with any of them live right here.
Yeah. BM says I set mine to 72 as well. 78 is not sufficient where I'm at.
BM is rich.
I say a wealthy man thing. A wealthy man settings that. But the Chick-fil-A thing, yo. When we out on the road, and again, we try to do quite a few of them road trips. So when the youth them didn't have middle school, elementary school, to a lesser extent high school. Now them a big man. Thankfully we not do them. Well, thankfully we don't need to stop and get Chick-fil-A when we do them now. Yeah, and I think it's almost like an obsession because I will drive past other other places, Wendy's, McDonald's on the highway, just to find Chick-fil-A. And I run gas. Well, we can't run gas now because gas price gone too far.
But gas prices got up. See that on Sunday.
Yep. Alright, let's get to the football show. And for the non-Jamaican, non-American based audience, well, I don't know Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. I don't think they're a global thing. Well, Chick-fil-A is not global, but McDonald's. Junior.
McDonald's is everywhere.
And I guess the people them are saying they need to stop eating pies and cook.
Yeah, there's another discussion to be had about that recently with the McDonald's CEO unleashed a new burger. You saw that video?
No, sir, I don't know.
They're promoting the new big burger. It's like some big McDonald's something burger. And the CEO or whatever McDonald's, he had to take a bite out of it, and it looked like somebody had a gun at his head trying to eat the burger.
Yo.
So
man, I agree for make money, I agree for partake of the product.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think Burger King owner, Wendy's owner, I think the two of them capitalize on it.
Okay.
And take similar video and say, here's a new Whopper. Here's a new one.
Well, they are saying that we are comfortable eating our products. That the CEO over there says not comfortable eating. Yeah.
BM says, Bodal Babylon cuisine, I tell we deal with. Hey, while they come in the chat, because a lot of people logging on, or some people logging on, I have a lot of quiet listeners. Well, as we go into the football discussion, put your guilty
pleasure
meal.
Guilt.
Yeah, put your guilty meal in the chat. What's your guilty meal? Benton says his is Chick-fil-A. Mine, I think mine will be Zaxby's.
Zaxby's, okay. All right, so you have foreign guilty meal and then you have Jamaican guilty meal.
Oh, Jamaican guilty meal, easy.
Which one? You have Babylon guilty meal and you have
that's
Babylon
a better way to put it. So you have Babylon guilt meal. My Babylon guilt meal is KFC.
Okay. In fact, I'll be glad when I want all KFC come out of Jamaica. And any Jamaican say, come at me. I want all KFC out of Jamaica. Now man, something needs to be done about these KFCs in Jamaica stores and the obsession. Because the cook shop man chicken or the cook shop woman chicken Panicana side still better than KFC, but we are going over KFC. I burn KFC at Jamaica.
But you know what that shows the power of promotion.
Yeah, but
it shows the power of marketing.
It shows the power of follow crowd. Your granny never tell us no follow crowd.
That too.
Even though
when people go to Jamaica, it's like you know, the couple times I go to Jamaica, I have not desired KFC. I have not ate KFC in probably 20-something years.
All right, so we had KFC once because my cousin I think in the last 5 years down at Panerac, and my cousin said, "Yo, cousin, if you carry people go taste the yard KFC." Of course, you don't know my partner is American, you know, and my youth them blah blah blah. So the man them say, "Yo, if you carry them and taste the yard KFC," and we go down a yard KFC, brother. The line long like rope, brethren. Long like rope. The one out of Ligony. And this was after Champs. I think it was 2023. Yo, you have the security where I watch the woman who collect the money at the order section. You have the drive-through line where block off one lane all the way down the street. And I mean, I say, what is this? What exactly is this?
That is Jamaica for you.
Yo, you have the woman who collect the money. You have a guardie, a watcher, and you have a camera overhead. It's double. So me say, my guilty pleasure, Yardy, is yard style is patties. Juicy patty, chicken patty. I'll eat patty all day, anytime, twice on Sundays. Forward with the chicken.
Yeah, can't go wrong with a patty.
Can't go wrong. Patty and cocoa bread, forward, ready up. Hot cocoa bread and some chiffon butter, forward. Forward.
Chiffon still exists in existence?
Boy, I mean, no. Alright, let's get to the football roundup. We have a lot of people who want to get to the football thing. We're on Jamaica food lane. Junior, they just concluded when last 4 hours or so, 3 hours. Premier League game, Liverpool. Let's kick it off with the English Premier League roundup. Liverpool dropped points with the Bugside Tottenham. Junior, it ended 1-1. Dominic Soboslai and Richarlison. Goal in the 90th minute by Richarlison. Liverpool had a chance, Junior. They dropped the soap to leapfrog Aston Villa in that automatic Champions League spot. Your thoughts?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with Liverpool, and you know, when I was preparing for the show, and I admit I was on the road driving back from out of town, and watch a game. Then switch to Talk Sports. And Talk Sports gives a different perspective. Sat down and watched Talk Sports. And listened to Talk Sports. People called in. And I had my own perspective of Liverpool and what is going on at Liverpool. I also have a perspective of what's going on at Tottenham. But then when you listen to real Liverpool fans, because people were calling in that left the game. For all those who know Talk Sport, that's similar to RJR in Jamaica, basically. Or any of the Jamaican radio stations, them and people call in and give real world instant opinion, right? And Adam Pardew was hosting the show with a female host. I don't remember the female host name. And they were given different perspectives. And I think Liverpool... What is going on at Liverpool? There are multiple layers. It's like an onion. There's multiple layers to that problem. And you can either start peeling back one by one or you go wholesale to try to fix it. And it would take a lot to discuss what went on today. But I'm going to go for the easy answer. Because there is a squad perspective. There's also a coach's perspective or a coaching perspective to what's going on at Liverpool. And I think the coaching perspective trumps all. If you can fix the coaching layer, you fix all. The squad layer is different dimensions. One of the major dimensions that came up today, which I was shocked to hear, but I never thought about it all year, Diogo Jota. And then having that tragic incident that happened at the start of the season. As a football fan, I sit down and say, yo, why am I talking about Diogo Jota? Rest in peace to Diogo Jota. But this was so long ago. Why would this affect the team? Blah, 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 blah. And then the human side of me kicked in. And I sit and think about it and say, actually, that would affect it. Actually, there might be something to Diogo Jota affecting the tragic loss of Diogo Jota affecting this Liverpool outfit. Changing their perspective on life, right? And that now starts sending my mind elsewhere when I start thinking of the players. But then I think now and say, but let's switch to the coaching. Because when you look at Tottenham, you know what formation Tottenham played against at Atletico Madrid midweek, even though they get their ass bust. You know what formation they played, right? 3-4-3. What formation they played today? A flat 4-4-2. That tells me that Igor Tudor is trying to change the outcome of Tottenham, trying to change the fortunes of Tottenham one game at a time. He's constantly tinkering, trying to find something that works. When was the last time Arne Slot changed his centre-back pairing? And how many times have we come on ball chat or on a Sunday and say, it's because of the centre-back pairing why Liverpool failed in that game? And to me, that is where the buck stops. And that explains the game today 100%. 100%. It falls right at Arne Slot's feet. And his stubbornness to make adjustments to the obvious problems is what is causing Liverpool. Crazy. And there's a stat out there, I think Liverpool, and listen, that's why I like talk. I'm going to start listening to Talk Sport more. Because there's a stat out there, I think Liverpool only won 6 of 12 home games this year, or something crazy like that. 5 or 6 home games out of 12 they have won this year. Crazy. Crazy stat. In 1 year, Liverpool Anfield, the mighty Anfield, has went from a fortress to a place that teams come to get right. Because right now, Tottenham can argue, you know what, I'm starting to feel a little bit right.
Junior, you said a lot. Welcome back. It's a lot for you unpack. By the way, he did, in defense of Slot, he did change his centre-back pairing. And Ibrahim Konate didn't start today, so he did start it with Joe Gomez. He's been benching Ibrahim Konate because he has identified...
How much time you kill Konate?
He's identified Konate as the problem. So I guess you figure that he should be benching Virgil.
Yes, sir. Virgil should not be playing.
All right, I will say this. And I didn't listen to Talk Sports, but I think I will go on the verse. If you drop in points, and before I say this, you said that Mr. Igor Tudor, no man at the helm at Tottenham, tinkered. Yeah, you have to tinker, you have to change when you're getting your ass bust. You've been getting butter, Bruce. Tottenham has been winless in the Premier League since December 28th. They've lost all six games across all competitions. And Mr. Tudor is on what, a 4 or 5 games losing streak up until today. So he has to think, he must have fix something. AKA he has to figure it out. He has to solve a problem. And actually, I think he was on the hot seat to be sacked. If you listen to the coverage coming out of NBC Sports, said that he needed something from this game to save his job. I guess he did save his job, as in Igor Tudor.
That's crazy.
All right. As for Liverpool, I think on general principle, if you lose points or drop points to Tottenham at home, Diego Jota tragedy aside, Arne Slot gets fired. On general principle, if you lose points at home to this Tottenham team, that's miserable, that's absolutely shambolic, you should get fired. Straight and simple. Yes, we can acknowledge that, the tragic event of the summer is having a long effect on the group, the squad. But this is where you can flip it 2 ways. Some people can recoil and go back into a shell and don't perform. And some people can use that as a linchpin, as a fire, and say, we're gonna do this for Diego. We're gonna beat and teach for Diego. We're gonna compete when Diego is on the field, just as how we give it. This Liverpool team has conceded 8 goals at the 98th minute mark or greater across the Premier League this season. 8 goals in minute 90 or greater, and all of those games they have dropped points, ended up dropping points. That is down to coaching. That is down to recognizing a problem, because it's not just today, it's the entire season. Slot need to go on him yard. Thank you. Slot is a carbon. He's a fake. He won the Premier League last year on Jurgen Klopp's shoulder, and he is not ready for this team, not ready for this moment.
I agree 100%.
You can't drop points with Tottenham. Tottenham is the worst, probably. Wolves is probably all the relegation teams. In fact, all 19 teams, I think, are playing better football than Tottenham right now in the Premier League.
They were playing better football.
No. I'm going to keep it the same way, because me hear Mr. Igor Tudor roll out and say, this feels good. This feels good, and I don't even know if you feel good by getting a point, because is it just Liverpool's just bad and just lackluster effort, or is it Tottenham doing something? And maybe it's a mixture of both. You know, we did saw a bit of effort from the Tottenham team, but also Liverpool played down to their competition, played down immensely to this Tottenham team. They should have fixed up this team from morning and put up your feet and get ready for Champions League game.
Yeah.
You had a golden opportunity to go into the top 4. So it's not like you didn't have anything to play for. Come on, Slot. And so one notable comment coming out of the game, the post-match press conference, is that Mr. Dominic Slobosly said, yo, look, man, basically, we'd get better. He says, I cannot explain it. We either improve or we look forward to playing the Conference League. He says, I cannot explain it. This conceding goals late throughout the season. He was quite frank in his post-match, ticked off in his post-match press conference. Slot has a lot of other foolishness in my talk. It's the same rinse repeat at these post-match press conferences from Aaron Slot. It's the same thing over and over. But I thought Dominic Slobosly's comments at the post-match press conference really highlights the lack of fixing the core issues. You can't give up 8 goals at minute 90 and above and expect people to take you serious. What are you?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think their goal difference are their goals. I think they're close to Nottingham Forest in goal difference, not goal difference, our goals conceded. There's another crazy stat out there that they are that close to Nottingham Forest with goals conceded.
We can pull it right up now. I know you've been out and about. So Liverpool goals against 40. They've conceded 40 goals, and Nottingham Forest conceded 43.
Yeah. So
how Liverpool concede 40 goals, brother?
Exactly. So it is. That's why I said there are so many layers to this thing, because Slobosly, I mean, we can't talk about the squad. We can't spend 2-3 hours on Liverpool, just dissecting Liverpool and figuring out, one, where the problem is, 2, which one is easiest to fix, which one should be fixed first. What are the order of fixing when sorting these things out? It is so much to unpack with this team. It's crazy. So,
Junior, speaking of goals conceded, your team conceded 41 goals.
My team on both sides. My team is on both sides.
Yo, Manchester United got hitched up. It's a different Manchester United team now, though. We're going to step over to Villa versus
And
Manchester.
there was another stat. A year ago today, Liverpool was on 72 points.
Yo, they're not...
No, if I was Artist Slot, I look at Artist Slot and say, you have a choice. You can have the years, your coaching years at Liverpool going the way it's currently going, or you could flip it. Which would you take? I would flip the hell out of that. I would take this year as my first year and last year as my current year, as my second year coaching. Because it actually makes him look worse, I think, coming off what happened last year, because somebody has to pay. You cannot have a championship team. This is similar to David Moyes taking over at Manchester United. You go from having a championship team to a bug side the very next year. It's crazy. It's crazy. And now you have to look at Frimpong transfer. And unfortunately, Alexander Isak injured. You have to look at Florian Wirtz transfer.
That's the next one. Another one.
So is so, you know what, we're done. We're done with that.
Another one. Florian Wirtz. Yo, that's another one. In fact, you know what? I will rest. I will go easy on the Florian Wirtz assessment until after the season. I understand he's a young player, but brother, need to give back people them some of the money, Virgin.
Yep.
Need to give back, and them need to get a refund. For Florian Wirtz, our send him in a summer practice so he can straighten up and get some more cornmeal porridge. Too soft, too weak. Over to and again, I don't want to belittle the achievement of. I probably belittle it a little bit. The achievement of last year, because winning a Premier League title is not easy. And big up to Slot, you won it last year. So we have to give him credit. He did make some changes to the team that provided instant improvement in the sense of Ryan Gravenberch playing. So, but that aside, brother, a new year. It's been piss poor. It's been absolutely piss poor by Slot. And Liverpool. All right, now to Man United. Man United over Aston Villa 3-1. Junior, yo, is it Aston Villa? First and foremost, Aston Villa is not ready for the video light. I would have said something else, but I'll just leave it right there. Junior, talk to me. 3-1. Cunha, Casemiro, and Benjamin Sesko with the goals for Man United. Ross Barkley with the one for Aston Villa. You're a baller that you throw on at the bus every week. You probably need to apologize. I think Jeremian will forward for another apology again. Bruno Fernandes, 16 assists. Approaching that Premier League record of 20, currently held by Mr. Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne. Junior, talk to me. I mean, it looked like Bruno Fernandes is the right man, right place at the right time for this team. Had what, 2, 3 assists today? Yeah, I think he had what? Yeah.
1.
Yeah, well, the Sesko one, he had 2 assists today. The Sesko one was a rebound, but Cunha on the corner. Yep. And the look idiot that should have scored because he put in another one. I who him push through.
Dallo.
Yeah, Dallo should have scored, so he should have had 3 assists.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
Dallo.
apologize.
Sorry, I'm calling an idiot. My bad.
I did apologize in the Manchester United chat. Bruno Fernandes is a baller. No. Whoa. There's an argument to be said about world class or baller.
Okay.
I'm not trying to give an underhanded compliment. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Not trying to do any of that. But there's going to be a but. And the but is Bruno Fernandes is a baller because he's playing on a bad team. And he has showed that he's a very good footballer. He's a very good footballer. Now, is he great? I don't think so. Is he Real Madrid, Bayern Munich quality? I don't think so. Is Manchester United on that level to have to elevate a player? No. You know what Bruno Fernandes release clause is? I think it's 50 million. I think Bruno's release clause is only.
That is cheap.
Thank you. So if Bruno was world class, then it would be an easy, 57 million release clause.
Yeah, but maybe Bruno put that in because he saw that his side was a bug side and he wanted a way out.
That's irrelevant. I'm telling you why that is irrelevant. Because if Bruno was world class, 57 million is nothing to pay for a world class baller in his prime.
All right. So are we using the release clause as a benchmark for determined ballers now? Because I remember Sergio Dest at Football Club Barcelona with an astronomical release clause, and Sergio Dest is a bug.
No, but Sergio Dest had huge potential. Yeah, they thought he had youth potential, but that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. For the Bruno, for the people, because all right, let me just stick to the topic. Bruno is doing well for Manchester. You know what? Bruno to Manchester United is just like what Cunha was to Wolves last year. Bruno is their main player, their main baller. Or better yet, not Cunha to Wolves. Bruno to Manchester United is like short socks to Aston Villa. And actually, that's a damn good shout if you think about it.
No.
Jack Grealish to Aston Villa is what Bruno is to Manchester United.
No.
When Jack Grealish was at Aston Villa, Jack Grealish was seen as world class. Jack Grealish was a baller at Aston Villa.
No.
He wasn't a baller at Aston Villa.
No, I disagree. Bruno Fernandes is a better baller than Jack Grealish.
I'm not saying, yes, he's a better baller. But Jack Grealish at Aston Villa was elevated because of his value to the team. Bruno to Manchester United is elevated because of his value to the team. But that doesn't mean that he is on that pedestal where Manchester United pushing him to right now, because he is getting all the opportunities. There is nobody on Manchester United that can cross a good ball.
All right, fair enough. Me hear what I say. And BM identified a key thing. Bruno is 32 years old. The value of a player drops the older they get. So maybe the release clause is because of his age and his value. Because this is probably Bruno's last big contract if he doesn't end up a Kokana league over Saudi or whatever. So this is it at the biggest league level. And what I am seeing from this player, I don't know what lens you look through. He's playing on a team with some ballers on it. Matheus Cunha, I believe, is a baller. And I said this, you can go back to the summer preview show. I said Manchester United will make the Champions League this year. I did call it. I said they were going to finish fourth. In fact, they look like they're going to finish better than that because of the signing of Brian Mboma and Matheus Cunha. Because I think those two players are absolute baller, top shelf ballers. All right. Yes. So you equate him to Jack Grealish, who had nobody at Aston Villa. Bruno Fernandes has support, has legitimate ballers. Casemiro is playing like a 26-year-old Casemiro. And all Bruno is doing is saying, rinse, repeat. Give me the ball. Let me push it through to Cunha, who is lethal. And equally important, Bruno is helping elevate the confidence of Benjamin Sesko. Benjamin Sesko missed a sitter today. And Bruno's not the only one. The team rally around him because Amad Diallo is helping him, because you can see he's a player who goes into a shell. And Bruno is showing him, say, yo, just, doing it for the brother. I give him credit. I respect him. Is he top level, top shelf ball? I think yes. I think he can play on the best teams in the world. Just like any big ballers, you need a support, a good system around you to help you maximize that potential. The only thing I have a problem with Bruno is the whining, the annoying, complaining. But I think he can play in any one of the big teams. 16 assists. That's a lot of assists. Approach it, and I think he will get this Premier League record this year.
Yeah, I think so too. No, but as for the game though,
yeah,
Aston Villa is a train wreck we saw coming, and if you remember, I think both of us agreed. I think right after Christmas or during the Christmas break, when we were joking and said, if there was a team that was going to fall out of the top three, because remember it was the top three at the time. This is how far Aston Villa has fallen. Aston Villa, Man City, and Arsenal were running away with the league, where it became a race for fourth and fifth. And we were even discussing during the Christmas break if enough English teams can go through for the Champions League and have enough points, then maybe they can get a fifth Champions League spot, and that's 2 spots to fight for. But, however, if there was a possibility that one of these teams would fall out of the top three, was Aston Villa. And that is what's happening. We saw this coming from a mile away. I predicted Aston Villa would not finish in the top four this year. That I predicted it early. I called that it was fool's goal during the season, and I even said this was a death nail when Unai Emery kind of signaled that, oh, we're not in the champion race. Okay, you're not in the title race. Okay, bottom meets ground, right? So it's I don't want no excuses from them. So BM even put out a stat. Can you believe Liam Bailey is yet to score this season? Only because you're a Jamaican-based podcast. Why will even think about bringing that stat up? Because Liam Bailey is just a fast player, and that is what Aston Villa have. Aston Villa just have a bunch of pieces that can be a good piece on a good team, but together they're not a whole. And they started well, they had their run, and now rubber meets road, and reality starts to set in, unfortunately for them.
I think I identified the problem over Aston Villa. In fact, you know what? I'm not gonna release it here. I'm gonna keep it secret. Aston Villa need to talk to me because I can solve some of the issues what I have. Talk to me, send me your money, and we work out that thing because
I am curious to know what the hell that problem is.
it's not difficult to identify the problems at Aston Villa and how to fix them. And before I get to the actual problems, I think Bailey played well today. I think he actually did what he is required to do as a winger. A winger is not necessarily responsibility is to score a goal. A winger responsibility, from my perspective, is to supply the ones down the middle with chances. And he supplied Tammy Abraham with 2 golden chances today. Tammy Abraham, horrible touches. Junior, you use this phrase that I am not going to repeat. You always use the phrase to describe Romelu Lukaku. That is exactly what Tammy Abraham did today. 2 golden opportunities inside the 6-yard box. Both times he couldn't control the ball properly. Difficult, horrible first touch. Then the second chance, he pushed the ball, recovered it, pushed the ball to the far post. Then Garcia and Douglas Luiz were both in each other's way, trying to score in an empty goal. And I'm saying, like, brother, it why not speak the same language? I mean, no, one speak Portuguese and one speak Spanish. But it why not same team move out of the way, and they couldn't score the goal. So I give Leon Bailey credit for doing what I expect a winger to do today. Supply passes to the strikers. Tammy Abraham didn't do his job. And that comes back to a larger problem, I think, with this Aston Villa approach that Unai Emery is employing. Unai Emery wants to be in the big league, or wants to be, just like any other club, wants to be up there with the big boys, the big league, playing in top 4 football, qualified with Champions League. And he's using done ballers, retread ballers, ballers who get, I'm not going to say it, ballers who demonstrated that they are not at that level. Tammy Abraham, come on down. Jadon Sancho, come on down. They are not at this level. They are not Champions League consistently high-performing ballers. And Unai Emery has hitched his wagon to these sort of transfers. We saw last year with Marcus Rashford. We saw with Mark Asensio a few years ago, or same time last year. You cannot keep going to these done ballers and hoping that you can turn them into stars. It doesn't work that way. I think one of the biggest problems Aston Villa has failed is that they let John Duran go. And they have not replaced John Duran with a serviceable, young, hungry striker. Ollie Watkins today, horrible. But the man who you bring on to replace Ollie Watkins can't even control a ball under pressure. So you're going to win ball game. And so, it's not just on the top end of the field. It's also in the middle. How can you really compete with Manchester United with Ross Barkley in a midfield? Ross Barkley. And from when Ross Barkley from Everton to Chelsea, no Aston Villa. Yeah, look to them man if you come play ball for service, contribute valuable minutes. Ross Barkley has never been anywhere to Casemiro. So a man can say to me, say, well, Casemiro is doing it and he's old. Casemiro, there's levels to this. And Casemiro is showing what it's like to be an old general dominator midfield. Ross Barkley was never on that level. So when Aston Villa is rolling out these retread done ballers and hoping to achieve top 4, it's like, yo, it's not working. And I blame that all on Unai Emery. Can't. And then it's even worse that Liverpool dropped the soap against Spurs. This when you saw Aston Villa and you saw like Liverpool, you had a chance to leapfrog Aston Villa, and you no man, I'm joking now, man.
And Chelsea dropped the ball against
No
Newcastle.
to the next one over there. So make we keep it moving, cause we are this is a special name, drop ball special. Chelsea suffered a 1-0 defeat to Newcastle. And the talk of the town is this Huddle Jr. Liam Rossinia, before we get to the game, Liam Rossinia said that he's gonna complain or file a complaint with the PGMOL or with the Referees Association about the lack of a penalty for Voldemir alleged foul on, or not giving foul in his eye on Cole Palmer at the end. He said that the referee should focus less on the huddle and focus more on his job, which is refereeing. Junior, this huddle, this was the strangest thing I've seen. I think David Darren, who's a referee on BBC commentary, said, I've been refereeing for 50 years. And this is the strangest thing I've ever seen in all my years refereeing football. Junior, what is going on?
But what is strange about it though?
The referee is in the middle at the center circle. This is the strange about it. Standing over the ball, because Newcastle it was Newcastle ball to kick off. The Chelsea huddle decided to make a huddle around the referee. That is what is strange. The entire field is there to make a huddle. And then Cole Palmer seems to be implying that the referee should have moved. But the referee is protecting the ball because it's Newcastle ball. Of course, granted, it's unlikely the man might do something to the ball. But the referee is standing at center circle around over the ball. Why you have come put a huddle around him?
All right, so we had an opportunity to have a great candid moment now being ruined by overanalyzation. That's how I see it. That's how I interpret it. It's a great moment in football. It's something that we will remember. This is similar to Colina. When Colina, I can't remember the player, even though he did scream down a couple players. But if anybody remember Colina, probably
the Italian ref,
the Italian referee, when he was screaming at a player when I can't remember the player, but was it David? It was one of the international games, and he was punishing the player like
Mario says,
and then the other player come over. I don't know what the hell he was telling him, but he was undressing him. It was David. I'm pulling up the video right now.
It was David. Okay.
And he got in between. I think it was Serbia versus Netherlands.
Okay.
And yeah. And Colina got in the middle and pushed off the player like, yo, back up, brother. And that was just a great moment. This was a great moment in football, in EPL, I won't say history. This is something now that could be memorable, that we overanalyze it. Chelsea probably either they normally huddle around the center circle or around the center spot, or they decide at this moment we're going to huddle around the center spot and the referee is there, but we're going to keep our focus and do that. It could just be a funny, candid moment and we move on. Nothing else to see there. Rossinia, figure out your team scoring in 90 minutes. Figure out your team defending better. for 90 minutes before talking about going to PJMOL just because it's a low-hanging fruit that they can say the referee is showing some form of, I don't know, it's not favoritism, but some form of whatever. Just shut the hell up, man. It was a great moment in football, and now we're marring it by trying to insinuate like the referee is trying to be bigger than the game. It's not necessary to me.
Yeah,
As for the game,
Mario
yeah,
says, I guarantee if Chelsea had won the game, quote, this huddle would not be a conversation. If Chelsea start winning, the narrative around the huddle would change. Figure out the team, period, is what Mario is saying. I agree. The huddle wouldn't be a conversation if BCN Sports wouldn't be covering the huddle. The coach did bring up the huddle. I did talk about the huddle. And a bit of context and a bit of background is important here because we are working with Fox, not Fox. This huddle thing started a few weeks ago, and Chelsea did it against, I think, Aston Villa, and the Aston Villa fans booed them. But Aston Villa, Chelsea went on to win that game. Aston Villa fans were complaining that it was a delayed tactics. But whatever it may be, it's something that Rossignol said he loves to see the players them huddled up in a unity and rare. Reece James said that he likes to give a final instruction to the group. So that's all good and well. But why have come huddle around the referee at the center circle? That's the important thing for me. Go give you instruction a corner. The field big. You're half of the field big. Could have done it somewhere else in my thing. As for the game, Junior, I ended up Newcastle much needed 1-0 victory. Chelsea looking a bit shaky here down the stretch.
Yeah, and the same problems arise for Chelsea. I mean, we can't talk about coaching changes. We can't. It's just going to take time. No,
rinse, repeat, same thing, no matter.
Yeah, you can't really blame. You can't really blame the coach.
Well, you have to blame coach at some point, but I mean, all right. Like Garnacho is getting a lot of playing minutes under Liam Rossignol, and I don't see.
Even the shop window.
I don't see it. I mean, but
reportedly he's in the shop window though.
But for what expense? At the detriment of the team? Because at the end of the day, I try to win games.
Yeah, but remember this reportedly was the reason why I forget the last coaching name already.
Maresca.
Remember reportedly this was the reason why Maresca was at odds with the board. Because the board wanted certain players to be played so that their value could be maintained. And that was the argument that was reported, that they wanted certain players, and Garnacho was one of them, to get minutes so that if they have to flip the player, they still can maintain the value. And that was where Maresca was arguing about getting more experienced players, blah, 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 blah. So, that's just Chelsea being Chelsea.
Chelsea being Chelsea. Chelsea.
Yeah.
Junior, there is only one team at the summit. Mikel Arteta, Arsenal. Junior, come on down, brother. I think this is it. We should call it. You calling it? The Premier League title race is over. In my opinion. Are you calling it?
I'm not going to call it. However, that fat lady don't eat. She don't belch. She don't do her warm-up. And she's walking on the stage ready to bellow that song out. And she's that close. However, April 18th is still on the schedule. And we have no idea what's going to happen till then. Man City is not playing well. Let's just not. Man City is not playing like they intend to win the title. Pep is talking like he wants to challenge for the title. But Man City is not playing like they want to win the title. And there's a disconnect between coach and players there, obviously, that Pep is Pep. He will figure that out. For Arsenal, though, it depends on the lens that you're looking through, because I think Arsenal haters, and I know a lot of Arsenal haters, they are saying Arsenal is desperate. They are saying Arsenal is lucky. Arsenal is set piece FC. All of these excuses. And you know what? At some point, eventually you're going to look at all of these excuses and say, if they have all of these excuses that they can pull from, maybe they're just a good team.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you can call me whatever you want to call me. Whatever nickname you want to call me, big head, whatever. Call me champion, call me winner. I think that's the important thing. And I think the same logic applies to Arsenal. You can call them set piece FC, call them boring, call them nervy, call them whatever, but call them champions in a few weeks. I think this thing is done. So two things regarding Arsenal. You know, they took a 2-0 victory against Everton, even though I must say that Jordan Pickford handed that first goal, because I don't know what kind of shopkeeping. I mean, that's a colossal error for Jordan Pickford, that sort of Everton goalkeeper, England #1. So that being said, the game was in the 90th minute, and you can see the tension. You can feel it through the TV screen. But somehow you find a way to win games. And there's a lot of conversations around Arsenal playing and how they're playing. And, I heard Burnley, Craig Burley, on ESPN FC, saying that they're not playing well, they're not entertaining, they're boring, blah. And I give a laundry list of things. It's a title race.
Yes.
It's a title race. This is a team that has not won a Premier League since 03, 04. These things that just get handed out like free things day in and day out. It's expected to be nervous. It's expected to be a grind. But most importantly, they are responding to that nerve. They're responding to that grind. As opposed to last year and the year before, where they folded in that pressure, right? I call it Arsenal Premier League title. Geraldo Haynes, the entire Arsenal community, and I can get ready. Ball shot will turn it over to one on the day, and they come and do whatever you want to do, and they run the show, and just laugh and drink and enjoy themselves.
And big up Max Dorman. Max Dorman, the youngest ever Premier League scorer.
Yes.
So everything just aligns for Arsenal to win, to Arsenal to have their coronation. And I'm going to say what Pep Guardiola said. I think Pep said something like, until it is mathematically impossible. That's not he said something similar, not verbatim, but pretty much said, when it is mathematically possible. He said something like, if it's the last 30 minutes of the game and they have no chance, then he will call his friend Mikel Arteta and congratulate him. Until then, he's still in a title race. And that's how I see it too, because as much as I agree with you 100%, Man City still has a game in hand. Arsenal still have to go to the Etihad. So those two could be wins. The game in hand for Man City, and Man City can defeat Arsenal at the Etihad.
So that'll be 6 points, and Arsenal's leading by 9 points, right?
9 points.
Okay.
Right. So that now leaves Arsenal with no room to drop points.
Okay. All right.
Assuming, and this is also assuming, Man City will keep winning. Because this is the thing though. If Man City, from this point out, Man City has to keep on winning. They have to win all their games. From this point out, for Man City to win the title, they have to win all their games and hope Arsenal lose 2 games. The game against them and 1 extra game. Plus, Arsenal has a +7 goal difference over Man City. So even then, Man City still have to make up 7 goals in that 9-point swing. So yes, the fat lady is starting to sing. However, stranger things have happened, and it's Arsenal after all. And I think that's what Pep is banking on. So We'll see.
Yeah, so going into this game against West Ham, big up to West Ham and Nuno Espirito. We look at the relegation here and the table in a second. Going into this game, Pep Guardiola's pre-match press conference said that any drop points, that means that Arsenal is pretty much the title winner. Any drop points. Yep. That's what he said on Friday. And then on Saturday after the game, once they drop points, he then said, "Oh, well, it's still on. It's still on. We'll battle. All right, I'm a huge fan of Pep. I'm a huge fan not just as a coach, but his humanitarian efforts outside of football. I'm a huge fan of him and respect his achievements and his evolution on certain topics, But this Pep and this team is not Premier League title worthy team. They've dropped, 13 or 12 points from winning possession. We saw it against Nottingham Forest. We saw it against the Bug Spurs. Not only were they winning, they were winning 2-0. And we saw it against West Ham yesterday. I can only look at evidence in front of me. What is very apparent with this Man City team? They cannot handle press. And this is unusual for a Pep Guardiola team. They cannot handle, especially counter press. Once a team turn over the ball in their part of the half, and the team then decide to go hunting for it, then the players out of the back don't have the ability to find those players. And you're missing. And I think this kind of culminates with my final point is that I have more appreciation for the ballers that they had in that midfield. Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan. Because those players survived such press and played around it. And played around it with a level of authority that transitioned this team to scoring goals. This Man City team doesn't have that. The thing that is also quite perplexing is that the Viking now score a goal. I think he scored 2 goals since most of January. Semenyo and Omar Marmoush are similar in the sense they're both quick players and they like to score, but they're not supplying the Vikings.
Yeah.
You remember when we talked about Leon Bailey earlier, how Leon Bailey did what he is supposed to do as a winger, is supply the centre forward. Marmoush and Semenyo now do that. Their job and their thinking is not supplying the Viking. And I think that's leaving a bit of frustration in the Man City front line because the Viking is making the runs and he's not getting the ball. And then equally as important, Tijani Reinders and Ryan Cherokee. I don't think Pep has confidence in either of them to play the number 10 role for 90 minutes. And he didn't do it against Real Madrid. He benched them against Real Madrid. He benched them against West Ham. And Pep said something way back. Again about Ryan Cherokee. Ryan Cherokee did a Mossy Robinho cross when he had an easy cross to set up a goal. And he decided to do a fandangles and cross the ball. And Pep said, in all my years of coaching Messi, I've never seen Messi do like that. You have a simple cross, just cross the ball. You don't need to do the foolishness. And I read into that message. He thinks that Ryan Cherokee, when he's playing, he is trying to do too many things with the ball. He's trying to shift this, but beat man, salad man, do this and do that when all it needs is a simple pass. And he's not willing to work on the defensive side of the things. And I think that's where Pep is deciding not to start him, nor Tijani Reinders. And the problem is that they don't have a true number 10. So Real Madrid supposed to fix them up on in the middle of the week and put them out of the misery. And I think the Premier League is over. And Arsenal, big up on yourself.
You do realize in 1 week, in a little over 7 days, in 8 days, it can all come crashing down for Man City.
Yeah, man. That's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, because you lose the Premier League title yesterday, right? Premier League title gone yesterday, arguably. I started to agree with you that yes, it's very close to saying it. Arsenal already got through. You're going to get kicked out of the Champions League Tuesday, and you're going to lose the Cordoba Cup final against Arsenal, which is being played next Sunday. Next Sunday, this time, I know you won't be on the show, so next Sunday, this time, I'll be discussing Arsenal on their way to a ghetto treble, or Man City sending a message to Arsenal that the great title race is still on. 7 days from now, on Ball Chat, on this Sunday show, next Sunday, I will be having a discussion with the people. It's one or two things. And it could all come crashing down for Man City. Their season could end. Even though they're still in the FA Cup, right? So they still have the FA Cup.
Still in the FA Cup. Yeah.
Actually, their FA Cup could also end as well because they play Liverpool in the FA Cup April 4th.
Well, we just saw Liverpool drop points against Spurs.
I know, but I mean, come on, Liverpool can show up and bust Arsenal, and bust Man City.
I don't know, Regin. Liverpool now, this Liverpool side now bust us.
But it's possible in 2 weeks, Man City can officially be done with them season.
I agree. And maybe there's something to this Man City significant investments to try to hurry up and kind of rekindle that trophy run, right? Because remember, Man City started the season and weren't gonna go with a high-profile goalkeeper. They started the season with their young goalkeeper in Trafford, and then Donnarumma became available, and they went out and got Donnarumma. And I think that, maybe management over Man City, looking back at it now, they wanted to send off Pep with a final farewell, a EPL title. Them run go sign these ballers, and it's not materializing because it's either this year or the next year. I think he's done. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done in the summer because Pep Guardiola usually get to a limit when him reach a max, and he did it at Football Club Barcelona. Same thing at Bayern Munich. He reach a max, and the players them and him, the message I get crossed. It needs somebody else to forward it, and I think they're at that stage at Man City. Donnarumma. Yesterday, Donnarumma looked like Rebecca Spencer in a goal on the corner kick. Reggae girl, Rebecca Spencer, big up yourself. We know that corner kick is one of your weakest links. But we know that Donnarumma looked like Rebecca Spencer yesterday on that corner kick. Absolutely horrible goalkeeping. And for one of the best goalkeepers in the world, in Donnarumma. It's a simple corner kick. And the man are coming like Junior. I jump up in the ear, I try fan ball like him had to signal the plane. I'm like, what is this? And it's just an easy header for Constantinos into an empty goal. So, Man City lost at sea, man. Them dead. And it's Arsenal's trophy and Premier League title.
So BM says, I remember the 2011-2012 season, Man U had an 8-point lead over City with 6 games to go. Man U lost on goal difference. The City, it's never over until it's over. That is true, but City was playing ball.
Yeah, that's a different City team, right? That City team had leaders.
Yeah.
I can't look
hungry.
I can't look to any of these City players right. Yeah, them hungry, but I can't look to any of these City players right now as who are the on-field leaders. Like you always say, get rid of Phil Foden, who they invested heavy in as one of the next generation leader. And I think I agree with you on that one because he is not... At this part of the season, you're supposed to look at those type of players. Phil Foden, one of the students of the achievements of the past, to say, yo, Tijani Reinders, Ryan Cherokee, and not play ball. Let me show you. This is Man City hierarchy. This is how we win trophy. But Phil Foden can't even start.
But then this is the thing now. And I think this is where the button falls because Ryan Cherokee and Rangers should not be playing this much football if you have Phil Foden on the team.
This is true. You shouldn't need them.
they should be the understudy.
Yeah, they should. You
They
should
should
need
be
them. Yeah.
learning. Right, they should be learning. When Phil Foden
Yeah.
was coming up and young and a fire at all, he had to sit down and watch David Silva, the end of David Silva. He had to watch Kevin De Bruyne. He had to watch Bernardo
Ilkay
Silva
Gundogan. It seems him right.
and watch Gundogan and learn. And when them man they get old and say we done and what take ourselves, then Foden get him chance. But Foden at his age should have been the one that is blocking these players and making them develop this bloodthirst. And they just don't have a thirst. They don't have a. The thing with Cherokee, it almost looks like he's not afraid that he's not going to play.
Yeah. Him not keep.
It look like him.
Cherokee is like a
goes,
scrimmage baller. Yo, we could come to some fandangles.
But know say Pepper give me game. Me know my game sure. He play like that.
But yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head. I agree with you 100%. You shouldn't need these high-value transfer because your Phil Foden was mentored by some of the generals in that midfield. Whether it's Kevin De Bruyne or Ilkay Gundogan, he saw Yaya Toure, he saw David Silva. So he grew up in the structure of Man City. So he should be at this stage, blue blood, for carry this team to the next stage. But the man, him flop. And I think the fallout from all of this, from not winning the Premier League, is going to be quite severe because a frustrated Erling Haaland is not going to keep hanging around a team that now win trophy.
I mean, Real Madrid, Erling Haaland to Real Madrid is almost paper made at this point. It's almost paper made. It's almost.
Well, let's see. Me not touch that one there, but you call say Phil Foden flop, so maybe you will call this one, sir. All right, because I don't want you to style my ball, Mbappe. We know he's not playing 9, and then my general are gonna be out, as in Vinicius.
Killy going to the left wing. I mean,
and
that's his preferred
there's the
position.
problem because Vinicius is playing excellently now.
Yeah.
All right, Premier League. We need to step away from the Premier League and go to yard ballers or some other news before we step away. But looking at the table, Judy, I just want to get your thoughts on the landscape of things. The relegation. West Ham came out of the relegation zone for a few hours. First time since December thereabout. But then they're back in it today.
Yeah, but then I think they are the ones that it's not that no. Tottenham plays Nottingham Forest next.
Oh, that game is huge.
And West Ham plays Aston Villa.
Ooh boy. Boy. They travel. West Ham travels to Aston Villa too.
To Villa Park, yes.
Yeah.
And Tottenham goes.
Tottenham hosts Forest.
Hosts Forest, yes.
Yeah.
So, look, at this point, when we talk about the relegation battle, it becomes which team do we hate most? And I think each individual person will going to say, I want this team to be relegated because I hate. Why? No, it's not one. Why do you think this team is going to be relegated? If everybody be honest, it's going to be because I hate them the most. You can't pick the best out of the tree, right? And I'm going to say this. I think Tottenham going to survive. I think Tottenham will survive. I think Tottenham will find a way. Tottenham is too big of a name brand. No, Nottingham Forest is a big name brand. I wouldn't even argue in terms of the full scale of English football, Nottingham Forest might be a bigger name brand than Tottenham Hotspurs. Might be. Nottingham Forest is a big. However,
even though they had a long stretch of mediocrity, but Tottenham.
Yeah, but it is so for me, I would see Nottingham Forest being the team being relegated because I don't like the owner and I want the owner gone. So that's why I would pick them. There's no other reason why I would say West Ham deserve
Junior, you have having a problem with Mr. Mari Nakas.
Yes. So he's my most favored to be relegated. Then Tottenham is second, and I want Nuno to survive.
But we
Even
saw
though
West Ham
Nuno,
fans demonstrating at 16 minutes. They want the ownership, or they're giving red cards to the ownership, Junior.
that makes sense because it's not a Nuno problem. This is a problem that leadership. You had a team. You had David Moyes at the helm, right? And this is where the problem started. You had David Moyes at the helm. They were a consistent team. No, they weren't a pretty team to watch, but they were consistent. And then all of a sudden, you come with a bright idea. We want to play pretty football instantly. And from then, it hasn't been the same. So yes, the ownership should go. Not ownership, not the top owner. But whoever is making football decisions is a dumbass.
Yeah,
and that person should go.
Yeah.
That person should go. And to me, that's where it starts.
Because you went from David Moyes to
Lopetegui,
Lopetegui,
right?
to
Yeah.
Julian Lopetegui, because he was the. I don't even know Lopetegui our coach right now.
I think he's in Spain.
No, and then Graham Potter. No, Graham Potter is in Sweden national team.
Right.
So Lopetegui is back in Spain.
Let me check.
Hey, this is a warning to everyone out the road who are listening Ball Chat right now. To listen Ball Chat weekly. This is a warning. And in a life, when you get an opportunity, run with it. Even if you lose, run with it. Make sure you creep up as much as you can creep up, aka collect as much as you can. Because look at Julian Lopetegui. When his stock was extremely high, he was getting all these coaching jobs. And look at him now. West Ham fire him.
Yeah, so from Spain, Real Madrid,
Yep.
down to I think it was at Wolves for
Yes, he was at Wolves. He kept Wolves up.
And then West Ham. He's the head coach of Qatar.
Oh, yes, Qatar national team. I just am rich. Hey, I hope him safe over there now. Watch yourself, you know.
Okay. BM says, imagine the Viking, Mbappe, Vinny, and Bellingham on the same team. That's very scary. That's not going to happen. He also said the relegation race is exciting this season. Yeah. And he can't imagine the Premier League without Tottenham. And that's why I think Tottenham going to survive. They're going to find some way to survive.
Yeah, I can imagine it, and I wouldn't mind like to see them. You know what? Tottenham ownership and Tottenham fans, and they need to get relegated. This level of mediocrity has persisted for too damn long. Damn long. They need to get relegated. Go and get yourself together. You know what, Tottenham fans are clamor for Mauricio Pochettino for return at the helm. Some Tottenham fans. Pochettino did not win a single trophy while in charge. Yes, you play well, but you did not win a trophy. You would think you would clamor for Ange Postecoglou, who won a trophy. But you are clamoring for a guy who didn't win a single trophy. So to that end, they need to get relegated. This level of mediocrity it's not much better than Southampton when they're in the Premier League. You don't show up to win the league. You show up every year to just maintain and make up numbers. Get relegated. Get relegated.
So, fine, I agree. But there's another major... All right, it's cool. Yeah, get relegated. It's all right.
And this is a team...
No, actually, no.
This is a team, before you come... This is a team that was in now the debunk Super League. Because it's so-called one of the top 6 clubs. Them forget relegated. What has Tottenham done to garner all this attention? They're not much better than Leeds. Get relegated.
No, you did say that a warning, right? To prospective coaches and
yes.
fan bases out there, right? If if you were to just awake out of an amnesia, if you don't know what happened the last year, and you looked and see Tottenham is facing relegation, what's the first name that would come to? All right, the first name that would come to my mind is Daniel Levy. This must be Daniel Levy doing. Remember Daniel Levy was the guy to blame for why Tottenham never secured a title or any silverware over the last how many years he was there. And isn't it ironic? The year that he left is the year Tottenham fall all the way to the bottom.
Daniel Levy guzum them. He obvious them. Hey, look at the recent form of these teams. Look at, all right, green is a win and red is a lose. Tottenham and Nottingham Forest is just pure red, and one line.
Be a wrong bag.
A pure wrong bang. Come on, don't forget relegated, man. So BM, I can imagine the Premier League without them. And it would be nice if my Southampton can be promoted above them. I think that's right. I wanted to say something else before we leave, but West Ham. I want West Ham to stay up. So looking at this, the standing, Leeds on 32 points in 15 possession. Spurs 30 points, 16. Forest 29, and West Ham 29 points, 17 and 80 respectively. Burnley 20 and Wolves on 16. A lot of teams don't want to play Wolves on the stretch, so Wolves ready for relegation next. All right, Junior. Before we step over to Yard Ballers report and some other major news, so you have things to do. Show lively today. Champions League second leg coming up this week. I know you're going to call some of these games. Butterglint leading Sporting 3-0. Chelsea, PSG won that first leg 5-2. Man City, Real Madrid, we know how that go. Real Madrid hitch up Man City in that first leg 3-0. Arsenal, Leverkusen 1-1. Barcelona hosts Newcastle. Atletico Madrid travels to London to take on Tottenham. Liverpool hosts Galatasaray. Liverpool suffered a defeat against Galatasaray in that first leg. And the final game is Bayern versus Atalanta. Your thoughts on the Champions League second leg games coming up, family?
It's only a couple meaningful games left. And for me, the biggest game this week is Galatasaray traveling to Anfield. That's the biggest game. I don't think any other game really... That's the game I want to see. That's the game I'm going to sit down and really watch and really analyze. And a lot of questions are going to be answered after that game. After that, I'll be a yub games.
Okay, I could have put this on the screen for the viewers. My apologies. You know what? Yeah, I mean, it's Champions League. I think the Bayern Atalanta lock. Atletico Madrid done. Arsenal versus Leverkusen. You know, Arsenal will continue to move. This Butterclint team, I need to sit down and watch them seriously because there's something going on with this team that it just continues to surprise me. And I don't want to salt them up, but I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch. Try to watch this Butterglint versus Sporting, even though I should be at the work. You know. BM says, Benton, I'm curious. How did Southampton become your team? All right. Southampton became my team because of youth. One of the biggest advantage of Southampton support back in the day was that it was built on youth system. Fundamental. And this is why I always used to support Football Club Barcelona in a part of it too. Because of youth football. They invest heavily in young players and develop young players. And that was always one of the bedrock of Southampton. And they played good football. They weren't winning trophies, but it was a financially well-responsible, well-run club. And they invested heavily in developing talent And I really value that about football clubs. I'm not into these big go buy and spenny pan Benny clubs. And football club Barcelona has turned into spenny pan Benny club. This is why I'm stay wide of them right now. But this is why I supported Southampton. Now Southampton, they can't find a ball off it develop, so things kind of shaky. Or Chelsea send up the price of the young ballers them. So that's the answer, BM. Chelsea send up the price of the young baller. Junior, if you said Galatasaray versus Liverpool, what about this Barcelona Newcastle game? Any concern there for Football Club Barcelona? They host the game.
There is concern there because if it's one thing about Newcastle, Newcastle has proven that they are going to play their brand of football wherever they go, and they're going to be consistent with the way how they play and the way they approach their games. So I'll give them that. However, last week prior to the game, we said that Newcastle is just a great. It's just a great. It's like they were just wallpaper. They're just great addition. They get them supporters medal. They get them participation trophy and go on a yard, right?
Yeah, we don't really expect nothing from them.
Right, but I won't change. I won't change that. That's why the Galatasaray Liverpool game is so interesting to me because Liverpool is ripe for the picking. And this Galatasaray team is very similar to the Newcastle team. Liverpool is somewhat... No, I won't disrespect Barcelona. They are two different planes of existence. But both games are kind of similar, you know. Where even though Galatasaray is going to Anfield with an advantage, Newcastle is not going to Barcelona, to the Nou Camp with an advantage. However, Newcastle has the firepower. Barcelona has the playing style that Newcastle loves to take advantage of. Anthony Ilanga, a broken clock is right twice a day. Ilanga can show up and turn into prime Ribéry or Robin and run rum shot down on Barcelona field. So there is a threat there. I just don't trust them. But the Galatasaray game for me, it has my antennas up a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think for Eddie Howe and company, I mean, you have nothing to lose. Nobody don't really expect much from you against the big bad football club Barcelona. You go for it and leave it all on the field. I mean, push them to the limit and let the chips fall where they may. I mean, no trophy no put on for the side. I'm not scared of a jersey. Go for it and just play your game and just let it fall where it's may. I mean, Barcelona definitely have vulnerabilities, so you can definitely exploit them. And speed is a problem out wide for them. So, Champions League. That's it for Champions League roundup and preview. Any final thoughts on the game this week in the Champions League? Anything that's slow that you want to get off your chest?
No, salute Galatasaray. Turkey football get such a bad rap. Deservedly so over the last couple of weeks.
Why you said deservedly so?
With the scandal going on. How much
how many people them arrest? Jose Mourinho caused the thing, I put this all at the
Jose Street and take away himself. The gaff site and take away himself. Like, nope, about
1,000 people them arrest. Is that about that?
Yeah. I know one day they arrested 100 players and officials and refs. But that tribute to Oshimen's mother that was done in the stands is a tearjerker. It's a nice thing. And you talk about Bodo Glimt, I'd put Galatasaray in that same Bodo Glimt bracket of unexpected surprise, and until the fairy tale is over, we're going to enjoy the ride.
Over 1,000 players were suspended and nearly 150 referees were dismissed after a 5-year investigation. So I was wrong. In December 2025, a massive illegal betting and match fixing scandal in Turkish football resulted in the suspension of over 1,000 players and the arrest of multiple
I know
individuals.
one day 100 was arrested. 'Cause we did a headlines on that.
Okay. Yo, so Mr. Dung, I watch Turkish football and some of the games them. Nobody
Them
did
fix.
that.
Them fix. Nobody get them fix. It's like wrestling.
Ah, it's all them, it might as well get the fix out in the open. Junior, before we go to Yard Ballers report, let's step over to this. We know this is coming up. FIFA Intercontinental Playoff is coming up on us. Iraq coach Graham Arnold asked FIFA to reschedule its World Cup qualifying playoff game. Of course, the Iraqi team unable to get out. Graham Arnold said that he proposed to FIFA to Bolivia and Suriname play the game as usual, and then Iraq, of course, will play the winner of that game. He said that game can take place a week or so in the United States before the World Cup, and the winner stays and the loser go home. Currently, Iraq cannot depend on 60% of domestic players in their squad. The airspace is closed. I guess the tentative date that the airspace is supposed to open is April 1st. So Graham Arnold is saying to FIFA, Brethren, do a thing. Nothing officially yet from FIFA.
I think FIFA is sitting down and hedging their bet on some miracle. I think
FIFA said I watch the ride.
Yeah, they can't commit to anything. I think they really I don't there's a place for this discussion, but I don't think BCN is the place for this discussion. But
Okay.
I think FIFA legitimately think the United States might not be a welcomed country in 3 months. So they did the dog and pony show with the whole World Cup release, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But since then, it's been all quiet. Since then, it has been let us see. Because not only for America, for Mexico as well, with what happening in Mexico. Or what happened with Mexico. FIFA is sitting down wishing on a star that all of these conflicts can just magically just stop in one day, and we can say, all right, the world ready, we're good, come we go make our money now. I really think that is the plan. You see, Iran basically, again, this is not the space to have the conversation, but it's a sports something. Look at what the president of the United States tweeted about Iran football team.
About
And why
participate, yeah, he said.
Why-
Well said,
it's
them
best
welcome, but him tell them send no forward for them own safety.
Your life is in the president of the country that is hosting the World Cup tell you to bother forward because I can't guarantee that we can protect your life.
Yeah. Now the Iranian national team, I think, put out a rebuttal, say, yo, no man can't tell we this is the FIFA World Cup. It's up to FIFA to tell we no, not for forward or something that effect. Yeah, the man can tell and say no for forward or in place. When we can go forward somewhere.
Right. You know what?
Graham Arnold went on to said, coach of Iraq went on to said, if Iran withdraws, we go into the World Cup and it gives UAE, who we beat into qualifying, the chance to prepare for either Bolivia or Suriname. So, and this is a very pivotal point that Graham Arnold is saying, because there are a lot of moving parts here. If Iran withdraws from the World Cup, and I mean, I don't know if a country can forward a World Cup when war are going and missiles are dropped. I mean, life is more important than ball game. And life more important than all other things, in my opinion. And so, I mean, the Iranian national team might have other things on their mind, the health and wellness of their family. So right now, football is not paramount for them. So to that end, if they withdraw, Graham believes that Iraq will be based on the rules, Iraq is in the pole position to get the spot. You know, so and then that would send
But
UAE.
I saw another post or a meme that Italy being the highest ranked non-World Cup qualified team right now that is still in the qualifiers should automatically get that spot.
You see, that's it.
So this is unprecedented territory.
Yeah, I mean, and they don't have no rules really prepared for that. So them have to go. So there's a FIFA General Council meeting in April, and so if things, like I said, FIFA sit down and watch the ride, things need to finalize by then. If you know, so them are gonna figure out if no decisions, if war still are going, then them have to make a decision in April.
Just postpone the World Cup.
They're not postponing. Their money, for them money, yeah. Infantino, shaja.
You had the last World Cup in December. Just move this one to December.
No, them not do that, Junior. The man them want them money. You know, see tickets are sell like hotcake. Them sell out games left, right, and center. BM says FIFA could care less if Iraq is at the World Cup. No big name ballers are at the team. And I think so. I think FIFA really don't. Yeah, it's all about name recognition.
Yeah.
All FIFA do is move Iran games to Mexico and Canada. The thing is that Iran is playing the US, and that is supposed to be a US home game. And all right, you see, and this is also positive. Positive says this year World Cup is confusion. Positive vibration, big up yourself. So this year World Cup is confusion. And BM says nothing to give the reggae boys a blind scrap. Yo, but I was about to say this, that sports, you know, a lot of us say that sports and politics should mix, and politics spill over into sports a lot, and sporting bodies utilize politics and political climate to achieve more financial earnings. This Iran USA game, FIFA bleed pan this because they know the controversy, the hype, the local, the deeper vibes behind the scene and the political overtures prior to this war jump off. But they've always seemed to get these matchups together where somebody hates somebody and this, that, and the other for boost their financial earnings. Same thing in a cricket. For the love of me, Junior, every major tournament, India always seems to play Pakistan. Because these people who run these major sporting bodies recognize that these are political things that they can latch onto and increase them earnings. A dirty drunkard them, brother. Now I guess there goes BCN Sports Spots.
No, but
my views that, not the views of BCN Sports.
It is the views of BCN Sports. You're 100% right.
You know,
yeah, and it is what it is. It's called capitalism.
Yes, exactly, capitalism. Positive vibration says scrap it. Yo, them not scrap it enough. I don't think they want to scrap it.
Yo, I think the World War affected a Premier League. Olympics. I think Olympics was affected by a World War.
Okay, yeah.
History might dictate that the 2026 World Cup was affected by a conflict. It might.
Yeah.
Well,
BM says Iran and USA not in the same group. You know what? BM correcting me here. I was going off on a tangent here. I could swear they are in the same group, BM. Thanks for the correction. Pull up the World Cup standings. And then, my apologies.
You know, Iran said that they would still play in the World Cup if the games. They're not grouped with Belgium, Egypt, and New Zealand.
Okay. Thanks for the correction. Appreciate it. They're not in USA group. So yeah, BM is right. They can go over to Mexico or Canada. Thank you, BM. Big up.
And all their games are going to play on the West Coast. They were going to have June 15th. It was going to play in both their games, June 15th and 21st, against New Zealand and Belgium, were going to be played in the LA Stadium in Inglewood, and then June 26th was going to be played in Seattle at the Seattle Stadium. So all their games are going to be on the West Coast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess you just have to do some reshuffling around. Reshuffling around.
I don't think I'll be shocked if Iran plays in the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be shocked.
Yeah, I'll be shocked. I mean, I think. Yeah, I think the people of Iran right now have bigger things to kind of keep on them, on them plate. And again, for the players of Iran's men's national team, and we saw the women competing at the Asian Cup this past week. At the end of the day, when we make a child out a road, we may not agree people may agree or disagree with their government, but them just do them work. Them do them things as citizens of a nation. And the women were out there, and there was a lot of vibes being shown at them from some corners, and I think for the men team, I mean, at the end of the day, you have your families and friends in that country. And some of the ladies were granted asylum in Australia. And so then some of them, after getting the asylum, then returned to Iran. And again, I think your family, in that country, you want to, it's rough. It's rough. Rough. Babylon is Babylon. Babylon is Babylon.
Yeah.
All right. Reggae boys, our Jamaican football report, not reggae boys. Reggae girls. Let's start off with the reggae girls. Junior, just a big shout out. The reggae girls will play in the U17 tournament final round. This week kicks off March 17. A chance to qualify for the Under 17 World Cup slated for later on this year in Morocco. Huge opportunity for the young girls. The group winner, each group winner, they play in Group C. Let me get the final round group. They play in Group C. And each group winner will then advance to the tournament, and the best second place, best runners up team. So 4 slots available.
Yeah, and let's see if they can replicate the magic of the of their male counterparts.
So they're in Group C with Mexico, Costa Rica, who's the host of this tournament. It's a tough group, Junior.
It is. And the video, the short that we posted sometime last week, that talked about Jamaican women football in crisis.
Yes.
And Cameron was very passionate, and we talked about some things, right?
Yes.
You realize it's that same age group is playing in this under 17 tournament, is the one that Cameron highlighted and talked about.
Yeah.
So who are these players?
I know the same players them would have played on the side in other schoolgirl tournaments. These are the same players who would play for the Premier League teams, the women's Premier League teams. Now they're off to Costa Rica for this tournament. I presume they're leaving for Costa Rica today. Their first game is on Tuesday.
Right.
So, I mean, we don't know, so Jamaica have a bunch of U17 girls program set up, so it's the same players. So you might see some players with extra wrap.
Exactly. The knees are bandaged, and these are the girls. And if you bring it into context, and look, admittedly, I don't know who's playing, so I could be wrong. It could be a bunch of UB40s. It could possibly be a high school team from Newark, New Jersey, who have a bunch of yard girls and then bring them in as they all come play for the side, right? But let's assume it's the same players. Let's assume it's the Excelsior All-Star team going. The Excelsior side, so Xavier Gilbert team and a bag of extra players. Right?
Yeah.
let's assume, and I know it's not Xavier Gilbert, but let's just assume
Yeah.
that mean Jamaica schoolgirl football season started, the Jamaican Premier League season started, knowing that the under 17 girls will have such a major tournament coming up that could give so much notoriety, so much upward movement to their career trajectory. But yet they were playing a game every three. That if they were still playing 3 games in a week, that should give more context to what Camon talked about last week. That should give more context to what we highlighted as a crisis in women's football. So now you have to ask, what is the purpose? What is the end goal? What are we trying to achieve?
I try to go World Cup Junior.
Which World Cup? High School All Stars World Cup?
All right, so we can run through the roster for the U17 girls, and I'm looking at the CONCACAF roster here. I mean, most of these players, I mean, of course, they have players that play overseas, but most of these players, they play in Jamaica.
Right. So
Yeah.
we are back to square one. So this is highlighting exactly what Camon was talking about.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah.
now you're gonna tell them, girl, pat them up, patch them up, or send them go play one international game.
Yeah.
One thing is for sure, they'll be battle tested.
I'm butter bruised. I'm beat up because a few of these players are, is on Fraser's Whip's team. Fraser's Whip in the Jamaican Women's Premier League. Like running through this roster, you have Cathy London, London Cathy. She's a Rise Soccer Club in the US. You have Shiloh Elizabeth Simmons. She's at FC Prime USA. You have Kiera Grant. She's at Fraser's Whip. Kalila Daly, Western Stars FC Jamaica. You have Felicia Brown, Oakville SC Canada. Jaya Lynn Lecky. She's at also Scrapo in Canada. I'm struggling with that one. This one, Raquana Richards. She's at Fraser's Whip. Jennifer Williams, Fraser's Whip. Elizabeth Miller, Florida United. Tiana Grant, Black Rock, Jamaica. That's Florida team. You have Jamara Jones, Rangers FC, Jamaica. Which part of that club did that? Madison Rose Bailey, Triangular United Club USA. Kayla Brianna Kidd, Proven Girls FC, Jamaica. Ricalia Lakeisha Stewart, Federal United. Chanel Walters, Fraser's Whip. It's quite a few players. Shiloh Marley, FC Prime. Carissa Salman, unattached, Jamaica. Talicia Anderson, Fraser's Whip. Abigail Gillette, Charlotte Soccer Academy. So that's the CONCACAF roster for girls. I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 players at Jamaica.
Why it gives you context. It gives you sad context.
So now this you brought up another big point, because now I am tempted to go look at Fraser's Whip roster and who got minutes over the weekend, and look at the schoolgirl. Because I would think there would have been a training camp, but like Cameron said, it's rough. Reggae Girls versus Mexico on Tuesday at 12 noon. And of course, that game there are 12:30 in a broad sun in a sun hot. So that's another game that. What time is this game? I thought it's 12 noon. CONCACAF is saying, let's see, yeah, CONCACAF says 12 noon. So it's the time here, 10 a.m. at 10 seems to be Costa Rica time. I don't know. All right. But Junior, wishing the girls all the best, and we need to do better.
Sad. It's a sad thing, and it gives added context to what. Like I'm going to keep saying, it gives added context to what Cameron brought up. So
yeah, and yeah. So sometimes when we like you highlighted, it's sometimes this expectation of qualifying for World Cup is probably a bit too much. Because when you look at this team and the level of ball that these players played, and now to go play in an international tournament, I mean, really expect them to qualify? At least be at their best?
be at them best and qualify is two different
Alright,
things.
be a competitive outfit. Like when them get
No.
hitched up 10 and 6, where someone will say, boy, them walk, let's see. Them embarrass you, but when you look at it, it's like, yo.
Context, when they get more context.
Yeah. Alright, speaking of context, we know it's the time before we go. Jamaican Premier League Junior. Chapelton defeated Dumbarton 2-0. Portmore 4-2 over Harbourview. Malines versus Mount Pleasant, 8 p.m. And Waterhouse versus Montego Bay, also at 8 p.m. Treasure Beach versus Cavalier. That game, final results only. We're getting for that game. So waiting for that game to finish. Your thoughts on the Jamaican Premier League, family?
I'm gonna say, I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. It's too damn long. But it reach a point though. 'Cause you remember, and the reason I'm going like that, you remember racing. You remember when how racing started out and was hot, even though racing is still up there. And actually they're second in the league.
Yeah, second, yeah.
And they still have a game in hand over most people. But they were racing away with the league, and they just slowly. It just feel like it's a game of attrition. It's not even a game of endurance, it's a game of attrition. And it's just who can persevere for a whole year. So you have your ebbs and your flows. I think it takes away from parity. I think it takes away from excitement. Other than Waterhouse versus Ardent Gardens, other than I won't even say Chapelton versus Cavalier. I would say Speed versus Butler. Other than Speed versus Tapper. It's just let's just wait until we reach the end. I would say who that are players I would take it serious. It feel you know what JPL feel like? It feel like NBA. I
All
don't
right.
watch NBA till after
After a certain
Super Bowl.
point.
Till after Super Bowl, which is after All-Star break, that's when NBA get nice.
Yeah.
Because before that, it's just wagga wagga.
JPL. Talk about JFF. JPL, I think, Junior, the man them have some golden nuggets in entertainment that if the right person get them hands on these golden nuggets and package them. When Craig Butler sit down there after losing to Cavalier and said, congrats to Cavalier and something for the player them teeth. This is social media marketing 101.
Yes.
Junior, line them up. Because you have a product where you have, when Speed sit down there and say, me no care about feelings, a business me no. It needs a maybe JPL rather than JWPL. Or maybe in addition to JWPL, JPL should hire somebody to take over the social media and marketing of this league, because they have some really golden nuggets that, if packaged properly, because as a football fan, me right now when the time Cavaliers play a Bullhead side, I want to see. Because I'm going to hear Bullhead say, boy, them thief another baller.
But didn't I say that last year?
You said it last year.
And they missed the opportunity. And was it Veer? Veer was the one last year when they get relegated, right?
Yeah.
And it was, damn, Butler get relegated. We're now going to have Butler versus Speed. Because remember, Speed versus Tupper wasn't that.
It wasn't entertaining. It was boring.
The games were entertaining.
Yeah, but the personalities. Yeah. Even though Speed I drop word and Speed I get some persona from Wadia, because I think the line went about say, I don't care about feelings, a business, I think that is golden.
Yeah. Yes.
That is golden.
So you know you're onto something, because I'm going to hurry up and put this out so nobody can say we never said. You see how NFL have Hard Knocks, right?
Yes.
JPL is perfect for a Hard Knocks type show. If they have if you have a camera crew, I know what Sportsbox crew that when Sportsbox go down, their TV crew, this is a perfect opportunity.
When Sportsbox was around.
Well, that crew is still there, and probably, unfortunately, a lot of people lost their jobs.
Sadly.
And we don't know what happened to them. But if you were a camera crew and you were working with Sportsbox, where you were a production crew, a poor production crew, and you were on Sportsbox, you already know the landscape. You already understand the sports in Jamaica. This is tailor-made for a reality TV show that not only on CVM and TVJ. This can go on for the whole Caribbean. It can go on FIFA Plus. This is great television. You don't, and the mere fact that they don't have to hide it. They don't have to not hide it. They don't have to fake it.
Yeah.
They don't have to pretend. The personalities are
it's
there.
It's not acting. Yeah, 100.
The personalities are there.
Yeah, man.
Yo, you can imagine Craig Butler on a 4D HD 4K TV saying, again, this is another conflict of interest.
Yeah, this is another.
How can he? Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. The JPL has enough drama within the league. And one thing we know about media houses and social media especially, drama sells. Pasa sells. Argument sells. And even the Premier League, when the English Premier League is marketing certain games, it's highlighting clashes. If there are clashes that occurred, when Jose Mourinho said he's a specialist in failure or something like that.
Can I explain? Can I ask
yes.
He's a specialist in failure?
I almost guarantee you the next time Chelsea and Arsenal was getting ready to play, that reel was part of the promo.
Easily.
And so,
Easily.
JPL, come on, you don't need to hire social media people for this. I guess JPL management has said, well, no, we don't have no money.
But you don't need the money. You don't need the money. Better if we were there. I would say this. If I was there, I would invest the time. I would invest the time to get the footage and put it out there. It will sell. You don't need to sell this idea to any company. Do you go to the company and say, look, we will give you access. You can mic up the coaches, you can mic up the sidelines, but you have to stay out of them way. The coaches them have to agree to it, and we're going to get a cut out of it. And the different individual teams, we're going to give you a cut out of the cut. Simple. It's sell.
Yeah, man, it's sell, man. All right, Junior, you're gonna drop that idea. The youth them will work over knockings, stream games, on the field, doing quality work. Just incorporate some of these passa, and I think. Because, like you said, mic up some of those coaches. Games are coming out. Games that you are streaming. And big up to Knockins, you them do a good job. Big up to MG Sports also doing a great job. And maybe them no want to do them things about when you promote a game, when you promote a matchup between a Cavalier and Bullet side. Yo, all them look at things that need in a promo front and center because you want to draw the crowd to the promo. And that is it. Mourinho, BM said Mourinho too out of order. No, you need, every league needs, I think every football league needs that individual with a personality that say whatever they want and that they're not looking for hype. It's just honest answers. And it's irrespective of how it's delivered. And Jose Mourinho gave that to the Premier League. And I think every league does that. Every league needs those type of personality to help part of the marketing of that brand. Yep. JPL.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Before we go, we know it's Ellis Abala. Nikhil Ellis Abala. Yeah, man, a good youth. In fact, I'm going to watch a game in the evening, yeah. Them are playing in the evening. The Argentinian coach are going well over Waterhouse. Waterhouse are play some good ball. I guess the foreigner forward and say. Foreigner say. From Andre, I think it's Andrew. A them striker, Fletcher. Injured, we can't score no goal. him say, oh, we have one man just to score all the goals.
New coach.
BM says, do you guys realize that JPL has 2 TV sponsors? Private citizens are keeping the league alive by streaming on YouTube. I did not know that they have 2 TV sponsors. A CVM and TVJ both sponsor the league. Along with water.
If it is, I don't know if them I don't know if them promote it well.
Yeah, man, them need to do a better job with the thing, man. Do a better job with the thing. All right, that's it. Time for take away self. Big up to Mimi Van Zanten, reggae girl who made her debut in NWSL. They suffered a defeat. Cameron Simmons also made her debut for Utah Royals. Big up yourself. Yo, other than that, hey, big up to Boza who entered for his team. I can't even pronounce that name in Belarusian league. Yo, you know how far Belarus there, Junior? Jaja.
No comment.
Boza played, I think he came on in the 70 minute or something, and Steam won. And it seems like it's a loan deal from that Mexican club. So, yo, I that time for go my yard.
Yeah.
Long show, big up yourself. BM says no TV sponsors. No TV sponsors. You guys realize JPL has 2 TV. What? Yo,
no TV sponsors. I think meant no.
Yeah. Yeah, the man that will stream and keep the league alive. Well, that's, with more subscribers and more investment in those streamers, then we upgrade the equipment and upgrade the delivery and the quality of the streams. You them do some good work, so we just need to support them and subscribe to it. Junior, I like that. Big up on yourself. Thanks for joining us, family. Subscribe, smash the like button, share the content. Look more.